Today, we are going to talk about the potent energy of the Scorpio full moon aligning with Pluto going retrograde tomorrow. Today, we are diving into a powerful full moon in Scorpio at 7 degrees. We got the sun at 7 degrees in Taurus. Venus and Mercury are also at play in Taurus. So this is a time for us to orient into the energy of looking at our physical reality and tuning into our core needs and heart desires. Additionally, we have Pluto, which rules Scorpio, which is about to go retrograde tomorrow in Capricorn. If we want to let go of what is in the way of who we are, we got to be willing to do the big work it takes so we can truly transform. As always, Scorpio rules the underworld and is about plunging into the deep waters of the psyche, as well as oriented completely around the power of alchemy of transformation. Interestingly enough, I have a moon in Scorpio, so I know so much about the power and the medicine available to Scorpio. And yes, granted, Scorpio can bring up our fears, and of course, even our ideas about Scorpio sometimes can be that it's vicious and it's intense and it's ferocious and it's filled with all sorts of, that energies of the darkness and the creepy crawlies. But in there, the fears, the chaos, the crisis, all of that darkness, all of that energy allows us the opportunity for the beauty and power of transformation, which I have lived that throughout my life. So I know very full well the energy of Scorpio and also how to really tap into the potency of the Scorpio energy. Now, with Saturn being the energy of calling us into that hard work, it is calling us into the beauty and medicine available during the Scorpio full moon for us to truly transform and to get real results, which comes from that hard work. Finally, we have, as I have expressed, Pluto going into retrograde. And that energy is going to be honing in, taking this moment to pause and to go inwards into our inner realms. And that energy of Pluto is a deep, collective opportunity for us to transform. And so when planets go in retrograde, it is that time of turning inwards. And so with Pluto ruling Scorpio with the Scorpio full moon, it really is this energy of us really seeking into our hearts, really calling you to step up to the plate, having you ask very vital questions for you to get really deep into the truth of what is your alignment and what is not your alignment right now. Asking these questions, is this what I really want in life? Do I really want to travel on a fate based on the life story I'm currently playing out? Or do I want to break free from it, writing a new story and reclaiming my destiny? The resistance pull between Taurus and Scorpio on this axis of this full moon is this orientation between Scorpio that we can get stuck in holding on with fear, really holding on and having a difficult time of letting go of that past, letting go of what we have known. And the Taurus energies calling us to navigate and tap into our values, what is essential and important to us and our needs. This energy within this 24-hour window is calling us to tune into that tug of war between what we are being pressured or feel the push to go towards something that is actually the opposite of what we actually really desire. In our collective right now, there is so much pressures from society on how we should think, live our life, what we should believe, what we should fight for. Now, granted, this is something that's been going on for so long in our collective, especially with social media every single day telling us what to think, how to be, how to live. And so My life has always been about going against the grain, always exploring new horizons, always being an edge walker and having a unique outsider perspective. The medicine of being the outsider is seeing revolutionary ways of thinking and being and possibility and looking beyond the consensus norm of reality. But especially in this last year, going into about a year and a half cycle, we are going through a powerful collective shift of the nodal axis of the moon. And so with the nodal axis of the moon, there is this medicine that comes through with the nodal axis of the north node and the south node of our moon. And this is a collective evolutionary opportunity when we go through this. And interestingly enough, our eclipses are mainly in alignment with that nodal south node axis. And so the south node and the north node of the moon is always this opportunity for us to release the south node, the past, what's no longer serving us, and to move and rise towards that north node. And so for starting last year and moving into this year and a half cycle, we had the north node of the moon in Gemini and the south node of the moon in Sagittarius. The moon north node, south node axis shifts every year and a half. And with that, the south node is the tug backwards to our past. It is what entangles us into old stories, limiting beliefs, and ways. It is what we must break free from as we have outgrown the energy of it. The north node is a tug towards our new future, calling us into new destiny lines so we can build a new us, always moving us towards our new evolutionary upgrades. This is on a collective level, as well as we go through our own transits personally in our own lives. Very exciting. And if you ever want to learn more about that and get a astrology birth chart and find out more medicine and wisdom that comes from your own charts, especially with the north node and the south node, feel free to connect with me about that. Going into the south node currently right now of the moon and our collective energy is in Sagittarius. So collectively, it is about releasing, getting sucked into the status quo. Here, there is a lot of noise around us. Many people claiming authority of truth, being the gurus, the ones with the only true gospel. But here the challenge and the invitation is to clear out all the voices of others and to then find our clarity of what is true and real for us. This is a time of dismantling our belief systems. It's a time of dismantling ideologies that are no longer aligned, ideologies that are keeping us stuck in the past. And we are moving towards that energy of the Aquarius age. And so it is time to allow us to shed our skins of what no longer aligns with us. So going into this energy, we can orient on how we may also be acting as a superior truth holder. There may be points in our lives where possibly we are in a place of judgment or hate towards others because we disagree. Truly, it is not our place to bring those ideologies and force them onto others, just the same as others forcing that onto us. It is up for us to be able to find our truth. It is up to us to be able to honor the sacredness of us all trying to find our way through this life. And this invitation with the Sagittarius South Node is calling us for healing in the division of the world, to realize that we have common longings all together and to find a new way, because the old way isn't working anymore. This old way of division and, being, pressured into what is the truth. It is time to, instead of claiming what the truth is or taking whatever is given to us as a truth, it is time for us to be seekers of the truth and seekers of the truth of what's true for us, and to navigate this journey of finding new understandings of the world, new potential, new possibility. And so that's a part of Sagittarius that we want to keep with us, is that innovation, is that possibility, is reimagining what can be for our future. What kind of future do we want to move into? Also, it reminds us that we cannot control the larger forces of the world going on. So it calls us to go back in on how we can shift the world to our local level for real change and where to place our energy into, which is the Gemini North energy that's calling us that way. North node of the moon is being in Gemini. That calls us into an orientation of focusing on what's going on in the home front, in our neighborhoods. It nods to the aspect and the medicine of be the change you wish to see. There's so much focus on everybody telling everybody else what to do, the news, the media telling everybody what to do, what is the right way, and the thing is, it comes down to what are we doing for ourselves? What are we doing within ourselves? How are we shifting ourselves to free ourselves from a place of disempowerment into a place of empowerment, of, being in alignment with our souls, coming back home to our true divinity, coming back to our hearts. And so here we're coming into the aspect of what's going on in our home front, in our neighborhoods. Instead of getting so fixated in the global level, sometimes we can feel overwhelmed and we can feel like there's so much going on in the world, so many old paradigms and old empires are falling away and shattering apart. And, we're in a time right now where humanity is in crisis. But as the Japanese symbols for crisis are danger and opportunity, there is the other side. There is the opportunity. There is the possibility. And so we're being called forward to that way of how we want to reimagine our future. What world do we want to create? And if we stay in those limiting patterns of Sagittarius in the South Node, then what can happen is we lose sight of seeing new ways, recommunicating our ideas, the way that we are navigating our communication and how we can be able to create that new world. And so here it's about creating change, real change locally. With the world in lockdown, very much a restriction energy of the moon, South Node and Sagittarius, we are orienting to the home. Gemini also rules technology so that we can be called to find the ways to connect online virtually as well as locally with others. Finally, it's about releasing the South Node of old limiting beliefs and ideologies of Sagittarius and really going into our own mind to find what is true for us. Here we are invited to see how we communicate to ourselves and others. Through being able to navigate having these challenging but yet rewarding heart-to-heart conversations with one another, remembering the humanity in one another, remembering that we have the opportunity to release the against each other, me versus them, competition of who's right, who's wrong, judging and hating others based on different ideologies, we can find that we actually have common ground. We actually have in our mind and in our hearts had the same longing as every other human on this planet. And that's a very big part of my role here, is to be that bridge from the past of the Pisces age to the future of the Aquarius age, to hold that higher vision, that higher potentiality that we can tap into. And that is what it is. This is releasing and shedding thousands of years of oppression and a sleeping slumber of the Pisces age and that energy of deception and corruption, and moving into a revolution of Aquarius, but a revolution that I am solely committed to, which is a revolution of love, coming together in love, unifying together with a common vision for humanity. That's my heart and my soul. I personally worked collectively with this moon's nodes this last year. And I am happy to say I can talk to people with a broad range of opinions and beliefs and ideologies, and with each and every one of them find common ground and opening the eyes and hearts to other views, which opens up healing dialogue between humans with one another. I've been able to have that between myself and others, to support dialogue between others that have differing opinions, and help them to see the heart of it all, to find that love and that harmony and that reconciliation between our seemingly vast differences, and find the same inherent human needs for belonging, compassion, connection, love, and peace. Oh, my goodness gracious. So for the Scorpio full moon, it's going to be great because it's going to be happening tonight, 4/26/2021 at 11:31 p.m. Eastern, and the Scorpio energy of the moon will be happening, continuing for the next 2 days, and with Pluto going into retrograde tomorrow. Additionally, we have Mars in Cancer. It is in its fall position, but there is opportunity for medicine here. And this goes right into alignment for us to get really clear and hone into the heart. The Cancer rules the moon. It rules our heart. So it's about really getting deep into our heart, into our emotions, what our core deep desires are. Our action and direction is orienting in this energy of what is our emotional needs? What is that mothering energy that we need to call in? We're going to be looking at our personal life and really tuning into getting emotionally aligned right now. It is essential, though, to be careful not to get swept into our emotions, blindly jumping in, but rather to pull back, to take this moment as a place of pause and really check into what is the true emotional wisdom, what is the true desires of our heart. It is time to really hone in to execute what we are ready to transform right now in our lives personally and as a collective, to connect with what we really want, what we really desire, what we're really aligned to, what's really calling us forward in this new passage in our journey. It is about getting clear on what we need to cut out and break free from. We need to look at our environment of what we have here right around us, being really super honest with what's toxic, out of alignment, and weighing us down. The energy of Mercury and Gemini, that really rules our immediate environment. And it's not just our home, it's not just our neighborhood, but it's also the news, the social media. What are we taking into our eyes and our ears, into our headspace? What are we letting in? Really looking at our gardens to see, what needs to be removed and cleared out of our life, and what needs to be brought in for nourishment, so we can really grow fertile soils and beautiful gardens. Right at this moment, there is one woman who ran a wellness center. She's completely exiting off of social media, taking her community off of Facebook and Instagram, because she doesn't feel that social media is serving her. And she's ready to take on to the next frontier, and find that alignment that is in resonance with her and her heart longing, her heart desires, her heart fires. Another woman who runs her school and community is letting others take the lead so that she can come into deeper alignment with herself and her medicine. And rather than being drained, depleted, or run barren, these women are finding ways to serve their highest and best that aligns for them, so that they can feel amazing and optimally serve others. At the same time, as I emerge back into the world, I had taken a long sojourn from social media, and it was profound on my spiritual journey this past year. I also fell in love with being able to be in this deeper inner peace that I have found, the immense relief and freedom that I have found this past year, and to just really dive deeply into my path. It has been so beautiful, filled with so much medicine. I recently have felt the tug and pull to how to reorient myself and how I would be returning in a way that felt aligned for me when I returned to my community to share my medicine. I made my list of very clear boundaries, needs, no-go zones, very selective on how, when, and with whom I let my psyche connect with, and my heart connect with, and plug into, so I can feel optimal and really support the best mental well-being and most environment around me, and thus I can be able to step fully into my medicine and feel continued alignment for my own self. So as these women step off social media, I'm stepping back into social media. By working with the wisdom and direction of evolutionary astrology, it assists me and it can assist all of us truly in taking ourselves to the next evolution in this new chapter that we are emerging into. This energy right now is the perfect time for us to make real assessments of our life. We need to calm any wrestling between our mind and heart and really tune into what our heart needs, what's best for us, go inward to our own soul's longings and desires. This is tuning into our deeper Scorpio needs, our deep heart desires. What do we really want in that relationship, that job, that move? Or is it about we getting wrapped up into a shooting either from society or ourselves, our family, pressuring ourselves because it seems that this is what we should or need to do. And if we want these things, why do we want them? What are the deeper needs, the desires underneath why we are desiring these things? Instead of just rushing in towards something on a whim, it is time for us to really check in if it is in alignment with us. Are you making these choices because the media says so, your family says so, your friends, your community, the TV says so? These energies and these choices about making these choices, are they coming from a place of fear, a place of worrying about being judged or rejection? Are they coming from your heart of what you truly, truly desire? Is there healing perhaps that we need to navigate that's blocking us from what we want? There is a lot of hard work involved here, but it will pay off when we stand in our truth, when we stick to what is real and aligned with us. We are each being called to find our own alignment, and right now is a choice point for us. We are being called this full moon in Scorpio to let go, disconnect, and reinvent ourselves. So we need to find what is our true North Star, our alignment. The North Node and South Node is an opportunity to utilize that polarized energy for us to really, really shed these old limiting beliefs, these stories, and really hone into what is true and real for us in not only our mind, but also into our hearts. It is time for us to release what no longer is serving us, which is a calling, a complete revival for our lives, and thus coming to terms with what aligns and does not align, and the work it takes to move from the old world to a new frontier of our personal future and our collective future. The beauty of releasing what no longer serves or supports us helps us to open to new possibilities in our lives. We can take that divine dissatisfaction and release it so we can find new ways of seeing, being, and move our needle into a new and brighter future, not only for ourselves, but also for the collective. So the more we liberate from our past, the more fully we can reclaim our future. I'm so excited that you are here with me today, and we are truly in a powerful time in our collective. I welcome and invite you to find the ways in which you can create ritual today, which you can set intentions, perhaps a fire ceremony, perhaps, lighting a candle and, just taking out some time to carve out space, perhaps bringing out your tarot cards, whatever it is, write and really just hone in to what's in alignment with you and really create those intentions and set those forth into motions, because when we go through, these transits, especially not just this full moon, but also with the alignment of Pluto going into retrograde, what's happening right now in our life will be a reflection of what's to come in our next phase of our journey. So take this opportunity, this beautiful gift from the stars, so that you can up-level your life. Thank you so much for tuning in with our astrology. Be sure to stay subscribed so you can tap into the magic of astrology to support you on your spiritual journey, as well as my new series of videos that will be coming out, all about accessing the power of healing, how working with shamanism from a unique vantage point, being trained in the traditional medicine path, can help you to be able to heal and transform and to reclaim your power, and my innovative invitations of beautiful, beautiful videos that will welcome new concepts and ideas that will support you to liberate from your past and reclaim your destiny. I'm wishing you all a powerful, blessed full moon.
Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.